Hello. I wanted to do a quick video on padsicles. I'm now 38 some odd days pregnant. I'm not counting too much. I'm just hoping for a baby anytime soon. And so I thought the procrastination has gone on long enough that it is time to make padsicles for postpartum comfort and deliciousness. I read about these online. I got my recipe from prettyprovidence.com, I think it is. I have it pulled up behind my little thing I'm looking at myself through. And so I liked their recipe. I wanted to follow it through. What it called for was huge pads, the overnight maxi with flexi wings, and what else? The aloe vera and witch hazel. So what it's going to be in essence is you're going to put all this on, freeze it, wait for your baby to come, everything be angry, and then soothe it to heaven. And I went with all the equates because they call for, name brand. I'm not that fancy. And in fact, we can just go equate all the way except for a splash of fruit of the earth. Save me a few bucks. Figured, I'm just going to be bleeding on this. Don't have to be so fancy. One thing I will mention is these things are huge. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. 3 stickies it went through. It's so big. It's so big. It's so big. Like you can do this for your wisdom teeth. It's crazy. And they even have 2 sticky places. So big. So that was my first observation. This thing is ginormous. So we're going to open it up. I've already done 3 of these, so I can tell you where I messed up. First of all, you see this? I just unleashed the sticky, and I have to do that because I need to get all this. But when I unleash the sticky, don't have it touch this. Oh, I did that before on the video that I made with the wrong microphone. I didn't like that at all. So I had to make a new one, and I went through that troubleshooting, but I wanted to tell y'all what happened. All right, we're going to open it again. Make sure that this part doesn't stuck anything. I think it's okay if it touches the table. Just pet your pad. Pet your pad down so it doesn't stay up. Another thing it called for was lavender oil, so it smells oh so delicious pre-using it. I'm not going to be sniffing it like this afterwards. But I'm also going to use that to hold this down. Okay. So the first thing that the recipe called for was your aloe vera gel. 100% gel. I had to search everywhere at Walmart. Thought it would be in the first aid stuff. Nope. Had to ask an employee, and she knew exactly where it was. I was so impressed. Oh, go Walmart. Okay. So what we're going to do is apply this liberally. I think this is the vagina part, and I think this is the butt part because it's bigger. Doesn't matter. You're going to put it all over. So here we go. And they said to apply it liberally. Up and down. Look at that. I did it. I don't know if it calls for rubbing it in, but it looks weird right now. So I'm just going to rub it in. I'm just going to rub it in. This is my 3rd one I did. I rubbed in all the other ones. But one thing I don't like is it's so, I don't know, you got to get that stuff off because each time I was like, I'm going to put it on like lotion. When you get too much lotion, you just start rubbing other areas. No, it just kind of gets everywhere on you. Another thing that I question with this is this step. You put the witch hazel, you want a teaspoon of it. And do I put it all over? I don't know. But that's what I'm going to do. So here we go. Just put it all over. I feel like I'm in one of those pad commercials, except I'm using clear instead of blue coloring. Like an idiot. You can't even tell where the period happened. So I guess the witch hazel sets on top of the aloe vera. Like it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem like, it seems like it should be reversed, but I'm not going to argue. Whatever. Like you would put the witch hazel down and then the aloe vera, but who cares? And then our lovely lavender oil. To smell so good and relax you down there, which is actually pretty good. So there you go. Oh man, I stuck it to the table. That was dumb. Oh no, it's so sticky. Oh well. You can get it off pretty easily. So there you go. Oh, Yuck. I hope that these are awesome in the end because I feel really stupid making them. But look, I'm not planning on having any more babies, so if this is a failed attempt, it's all the way a failed attempt because I'm not making any more. I did make one earlier. It's like those cooking shows, like on the Daily Show or whatever. They're like, oh, I already have one prepared magically, like you're going to have in your kitchen. So I have this one, and it has gotten a little time to dry. And you can still see, I don't know if you can, I can still see all the goop that's on there. So we're going to fold this back up. Oh, you know what? Look, I messed up. It's okay. I'm going to fold it back up there. Like that. And you're just going to fold it back up. I think I should probably let it dry more, but I don't want to make another video. I already made a failed one. So there it is. All done and padsicled, prepped. I'm going to put these in my thing. And then I'm going to put them in the freezer. And then after the baby comes, hopefully it'll be the best idea I've ever had for my vagina. I'm really hoping it works out. The theory, it sounds awesome. And I've gone through 2 babies and it gets pretty angry down there. So this was like, oh, genius, but it's not a genius idea if it doesn't work. So I'll let y'all know how it goes and give my appropriate amount of stars for this whole shebang. Thanks. See y'all then. Hello. It has been several weeks since I last videoed, to y'all just a matter of seconds, but I did want to do an update on the Padsicles. I did have my baby. This is Chia. She's hiding. She's kind of hungry, so we're out on time limit here. You know, she's awake because I do the whole sleep when she sleeps, so I'm awake and she's awake. So we're going to do this awake and a little bit hungry, and that's okay because it's only going to take a matter of seconds because this is a solid review. Oh yeah, she's 10 days old now, and I gotta say, these things were awesome. These things were awesome. They did have some cons to them. For instance, they weren't absorbent enough at the beginning, so I really wish I had these at the hospital. That would have just felt awesome, but I'm a pretty heavy bleeder right off the bat. I don't know if everybody else is. I don't go looking around in, you know, people's panties at the hospital. So these definitely would not have fit because I instead used the granny panty dog pad pads, which were absorbent to the max, but they were not this luxurious treatment, which I did wish I had at the hospital right off the bat. One thing that's great about these is that they are cold. One thing that's bad about these is that they are cold. I had a November baby, and the first few days of her birth, you know, and after we got home from the hospital, it was cold. And so these just kind of felt like, oh, I don't want to do it. But once I put it on my skin and, you know, in my panties and sat on them, I was like, okay. Oh. I did have a vaginal birth with minimal tearing, you know, just a 1st degree, couple stitches, whatever they call it. And so these really helped. It felt really nice. One thing I will say, I never found the opportune thaw time. They say on the website that I looked at, like a couple minutes or something like that. I didn't read it again, so I'm going to link it down below and then tell you wrong. So I dipped it for a couple minutes, but as you can see, this one's been out for a little bit, and it's been a couple minutes, and you can still see icicles that have formed. And so I leave it out longer thinking, you know, oh, just thaw it a little bit more, and then it would just be mushy, and I never found the real opportune time, so I would say just go with the icicles. It's just cold real quick, but then it just feels great. Feels great when you sit down and you're just, once you get over that initial chill, just wear extra blankets. One thing I will say is I probably used too much aloe vera and too much witch hazel because it did feel wet. It did feel wet. Kind of feel like I sat in my pee like as a diaper. So I would just use half next time. If there is a next time, I doubt that there's not going to be another baby, but that would be the one trick extra. Also worth noting is that these things that are normally, I don't know, plasticky feeling, kind of just turn into weird. And so another thing that I will say, is that the stickiness on the flaps went away. They are too wet or something, and that just went away. So one thing I would suggest is wear tight panties. I didn't lose all my baby weight right off the bat, so I do have tight panties, and it just fit really well, just snug against you. I don't know. Overall, I really liked them. I'm glad I did them. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I would alter it, maybe even taking the aloe vera and the witch hazel to the hospital, putting on the puppy pads, and putting those in the freezer until I want to use them again. That would be really nice. That would be one thing that I wish I had done instead of these, because these just didn't cut it out right off the bat. And by the time that they did, they still feel awesome, but just looking back, I'm like, that would have felt really awesome right after. So that would be my suggestions. Wear tight panties. Find bigger pads if you can. Take them to the hospital if you can. Less aloe vera and less witch hazel, because you do feel kind of wet. Overall, though, great idea. Really helped out. 4 out of 5 solid. Hope it worked out for you.